I've been fortunate enough to actually been seeing quite a bunch of westerns recently. From Diablo and Jane Got a Gun. I think those are great westerns, and by great I mean shit. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube? That's right, I'm Christmas. Today I'm going to be talking about Forsaken. So here's the basic plot of the thing. Say to the end, don't be an ass or a dick, and actually watch the whole video. So here it is. The basic plot of the thing is pretty much about this gunslinger named, played by Kiefer Sutherland. He pretty much is trying to retire. He's kind of leaving that life behind. Then he tries to make amends with his father. He's a preacher, so that's had a bit of a contrast to the thing. Unfortunately, when he's trying to retire, there's a bit of a gang of outlaws kind of coming his way and side us down. He's the only one that can really stop it. What does he do? Does he pick up the gun again? Most likely he pretty much does, because you've already seen these type of movies before. It's a very cliche type of thing. Now, this movie, look, it's not the worst thing ever, and it's not really that original, but for the most part, it was entertaining. Compared to like Diablo or Jane Got a Gun, which Jane Got a Gun wasn't really entertaining or interesting, but it had an interesting character or whatever really in there. Where Diablo was just not entertaining or good at all for the most part. Now, for this movie, though, it is, directed well, and some of the music is pretty well and whatnot. And the set pieces actually do look pretty solid for their budget that they're kind of carrying out. Now, the actors from Kiefer and Donald, they do a good job. Though Kiefer and Demi, they do kind of feel a little bit out of place in this Western. Although Donald Sutherland did a good job, and some of the better parts of the movie is actually between Kiefer and Donald, because obviously they're father and son, and they play father and son here. So it's nice to kind of see those touching and small moments between the interacting contrast between the gunslinger and a man of peace of sorts. Like I said, Demi Moore, she does a good job, but she took a long break from acting, I feel like. So it's kind of like Carrie Fisher in The Force Awakens, where you can tell she should have brushed up on her acting a bit, because she's okay. Now look, Michael Wincott he does a good job. Ryan Cox does Brian Cox thing. Look, this thing's full of cliches, and yes, it is entertaining, but unfortunately, the stuff that they do kind of take from other westerns, you can tell and be like, yeah, I've seen that done better before, and and here it's just not that good. Now look, Kiefer fits in a role very well. He feels like that gunslinger, and sometimes I do feel like it was kind of a little bit laughable to kind of see him in here, because all I saw was Bauer or Big Boss on a horse, and if you played the last Metal Gear, you understand that. But maybe that's just my fucked up negative. But yes, that's just my thing. But yeah, look, there are some nice action set pieces here. There's some nice shooting, and it feels like an old school western of sorts. But unfortunately, it feels so old school because it's taking cliches from other movies that it doesn't really feel like a new breed of a film, and that's, I think, what kind of hurts it from being a solid enough movie. Is it a decent film? Yes, and it is better than the two westerns that I mentioned previously. That being Diablo and Jane Got a Gun, but it's not that much better. It's a little bit more put together, and a little bit has more of a clearer vision as to what it wants to be, a bit. But unfortunately, the cliches kind of wear it down, and that's kind of it. The dialogue is okay. You can flip a coin whether you want it to be cheesy or just kind of terrible, but that's up to you. But Kiefer does the job well. Donald, Demi's okay. Michael Wincott's good, and Brian Cox does Brian Cox. But once again, if you want to see Forsaken, go look it out. Go look out for it, I guess. But yes, that's my review. Comment, subscribe, and like. Look at my other videos. Subscribe. Help me out get to 300 subscribers. Hopefully you actually stay to the end. Signing out.